Hello and welcome to the Dream Team Tonic podcast, episode 109. With me, Ben. I'm home alone as James and Tony are on the beach. Yeah, as you know, James is getting ready to head off to Venezuela, and Tony is on a stag do in my old stomping ground, the Costa del Sol. So I've recruited a couple of super subs for you. Scott, aka the Dream Team Professor, and a new guest to the podcast, but one of the most popular members of the Dream Team Tonic Discord, Oz. Welcome, fellas.
Evening.
Hey, mate.
All right. How's it going, Scott?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Thanks for having us. I thought you were going to refer to us as ringers, actually. Getting the ringers in.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
It's a hat trick for you now with appearances on the pod. Yep. We'll have to start giving out football soon.
Is that 3-0?
Oh, no. It started already.
Started. As you know, Scott's a big Arsenal fan.
Was.
If you don't know, Scott is the host of the Dream Team Professor podcast. Can you tell us a little bit about it and where to find it?
Yeah, got it on just on YouTube and Spotify and the other podcast platforms, and obviously got my Twitter page as well, so you can have a chat with us on there. But yeah, I've been doing that for about 6 months now.
Yeah, and you look into all the match centres and all the points that have been scored over the week and players to target for each week. Yeah, it's a brilliant podcast. Head over there and check that out. Oz, thanks for coming on, mate.
Mate.
How's it going?
Not bad, mate. Not bad.
Good. We've got some questions for you for the meet the manager. Going to pull them up now.
Yeah.
Okey-doke.
Right. So, how did you get into fantasy football, and what was your first experience?
So it was probably about 7 or 8 years back. Got into the Sun Dream Team from playing. My mate invited me to play with his work league, his dad and whatnot, and just been playing ever since, really.
So addicted now.
Yeah, fully addicted.
So you say about 8 years? Did you say you've been playing Dream Team?
Yeah, about 8 years. Yeah.
Cool. How's your Dream Team season going so far?
It's not too bad. My best team, unfortunately, is not in any cash leagues, right? But
always the way.
Yes. It's one of them, isn't it? But yeah, it's not getting too bad.
Yeah, I've tried.
500.
That's good. I've tried to mix it up this year and put in different teams in different mini leagues, but you still always put the wrong one in.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I picked one team and I put it in every single mini league, and I think it was a Liverpool heavy team, and they started awfully. And I was chasing since the beginning.
Yeah.
What's your highest finish overall?
It probably would be on course to this season. So the first time doing 10 teams is this year. So it probably will be this year. I think last year I did 2 teams, and the highest was 3K. So not great. But yeah, there will be this season.
How have you found it managing the whole 10? Because I've only just started really doing the full 10, and I did like what you said, Ben. I did like a few different blocks of different teams. Obviously, Liverpool were crap, Chelsea were crap, and that's gone down the toilet really. And I've seen quite a few teams that have got, Flowerpot Man is a really good example. He's got quite a few teams up there. So trying to figure out what's the best way of doing that. But how have you found that, Oz, like doing 10 teams? It's hard to
it's a bit of a nightmare. Yeah. You get a bit disheartened with your teams when they're not doing so well. So it's hard to keep on top of them and whatnot. So yeah, it's hard to keep on top of.
I noticed you, Scott, you stayed on your Liverpool defenders when everyone was going, right, get rid of them at the start of the season.
Yeah, in one of my teams.
Yeah, and it did all right in a monthly, didn't it? You nearly won a monthly.
Do you know what? In the end, I just end up keeping that one. I thought there's no coming back now, so I'll just keep it, and eventually it will happen. But we're like last few weeks now, and it's only just started to happen. I've kept that as my PlayStation team, I like to call it. I've made it my objective to try and win it, but yeah, it's not quite happened. Come second.
Yeah, I think I got 8th last month.
Oh yeah, you
about 9 points off top. Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Because I remember you saying in the Discord about that, and you'd been saying that you were right up there, and someone else was with you, weren't they, from the Discord?
Yeah, Twed had 2 teams in the top 10. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's some guy that messages me on Twitter. I don't want to go too off on a tangent, but he messages me on Twitter and like we talk about Dream Team, and he's got one team, and he was like, "Oh, I'm doing really well this month. I think I got quite a lot of points." And I just had a look at his team. I was like, "Mate, you've won the PS5. You're first."
Oh,
he's got one team, and he didn't even know that you could have a look at your monthly score.
Crazy.
So yeah, I can't remember his name, so I can't shout him out. But yeah, that was crazy. He didn't even know. I was like, "Make sure you claim that." You got to get your PS5.
500 quid's worth, isn't it?
So, Oz, how would you describe your approach to playing Dream Team?
Attack, really. Yeah.
So, five transfers in the first week.
No, not in the first week, but let's say probably the last 2 weeks of the season, I'll probably have like 1 left or so. Not in the month.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I don't really reserve transfers.
And any key tips for a successful season?
You're asking the wrong bloke.
Oh, you're doing well this year, mate.
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
What have you been doing this year then?
Well, obviously the Discord's a help. Just playing the fixtures really, and the fixture volume and whatnot. Yeah.
Excellent. Right, we've got a new Patreon this month, Rob Bailey. Shout out to you, mate. Thanks for signing up. I hope you're enjoying all the content on the Patreon, and you're getting early access to the podcast and extra content. If anybody else is interested in that, head over to patreon.com/Dream Team Tonic. Let's have a look at your team, Oz.
Yep.
So it's up on the screen now.
Yeah. You got Edison 8 points. Stones did not play. Hoping he makes an appearance against Real Madrid, although I don't know if they'll get a clean sheet or not. I put Trent in for Dallo because he didn't play at the weekend. But I'll decide whether I want to reverse that or not. I probably won't. I'll probably stick with Trent. And then Diaz 8 points. De Bruyne didn't play. Fernandez 10 points. Morez 5 points. Foden 3 points. Haaland 8. The Magic Wilson 17.
Nice.
I took one on that. I did originally put Alvarez in, and then I shook myself a bit, and I thought, do you know what? I'll go with Wilson. I didn't fancy it, so I put him in. 17 points, and then Salah to play tomorrow.
Did you sell Rashford for Wilson?
No, it was Kane.
Kane, okay.
Yeah.
He's 10 points up on that transfer, and he's got another game this week, so that's good.
No, so I went Kane to Alvarez on the first week when the transfers were fresh.
All right, yeah.
And then I took Alvarez out again, so it's a bit of a koki for Wilson.
Right,
I just thought it was a 2-for-1 over Alvarez because I don't think he'll play against Real Madrid.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that is the only thing with those City players, isn't it? Because you see it always, if you do play fixtures, you see it always being a 2-for-1 or them having more fixtures, but it's not a very high chance you play all of them. Yeah.
Right. Any? We haven't got no more transfers left. That's you for the rest of the year, then, isn't it? If this is your last one, this Trent move.
No. I've got one more after that, and obviously I can reverse the Trent one, but I don't think I will. So I will have one left after this.
59 points, though. That's decent.
Yeah, very good. 59 points, and you're up to 559th overall. You got one transfer. So, what are you thinking of using it anytime soon or saving it?
I'll probably do it in the last game week from Wilson to Rashford for the double.
Back. Do you know any updates?
Yeah.
The last I only heard the update about Rashford just being a leg injury.
Yeah, I've not heard anything.
Nothing new.
Strange one.
Yeah, that's sort of messed up the plans a little bit because I think everyone had their eye on bringing him in for next week, didn't they? For his double.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
What do you reckon, Trent? Is with Trent in that back line? What do you think, Tony? Because he's against sorry, Ben. He's against
Tony.
So I mentioned Tony. Now's a good time to drop the. Sorry, you're live with Ben, Oz, and Dream Team Professor. James and Tony are officially on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you reckon? How do you reckon your lot will do against Liverpool?
I think we're going to get beat, but you know when you got those like feelings, you think might get something, but nah, surely we can't beat Liverpool. Not the way we've been playing. But the results have gone our way this weekend, but it's just I can't see it. Trent masterclass. Salah. It's going to be like 30 points between them two, I reckon.
There's a lot of strikers performing at the minute, isn't there?
I think Trent got about 24 points or something about 2 years ago at Boxing Day at King Power. He got like a goal and 3 assists or something. And he's starting to look like he's on that form again now.
Yeah, he looks mustard in midfield, doesn't he?
Yeah, he was class.
Should we head on to the next one?
Yeah, let's look at your team, mate.
Right, so I've got 46 points for the game week. Got David De Gea in goal, and he's just crazy at the minute, isn't it? Because City have kept one at the minute, but De Gea just seems to be getting these clean sheet points more than Ederson. Each time Ederson looks like he's more likely to keep it. You guys just keep getting clean sheets, us. So
yeah, literally.
Yeah, 5 points for David De Gea. A rare clean sheet for Man City, so 8 points for Akanji. I've got Trent as well, and I've had him for quite a while, actually. He's been doing really well for us. Even though they've not quite had the fixtures, have they? He's been just hitting good numbers. John Stones blank. Bruno, 10 points. He's been good all season, really, to have. And another De Bruyne did not play. We've got Mahrez, 5 points, he's been doing well since that hat-trick now, hasn't he, really? It was really frustrating to have, and then he got 2 assists, another assist today.
Yeah, last week, yeah.
And then just the 3 points for Foden. So, yeah, Foden hasn't really worked out since I bought him in, but I bought him in for Saka, and I think he's up on points now after today. And then the big template front three of Salah, Kane and Haaland. So Salah's still got to play tomorrow night. Hoping he gets a hat-trick, Ben?
No, I hope not.
Kane with the 7 points, and he just seems to be getting, no matter what game it is, he just seems to score. They might have one shot on target, he scores. That was a dive, wasn't it? Did you see it?
I didn't see it, no.
It was a clever.
You want it on your own team, don't you?
Yeah, he's just tapped the ball around the keeper and then used his momentum to go the keeper. He's done the right thing, really.
We'll call it clever.
Yeah, clever.
7 points, and then Haaland with the 8 points. So a tame few weeks for Haaland.
Yeah, he slowed down a bit.
No hat tricks. No hat tricks. But that's total points 2,464. Ranks gone up a little bit to 396. Still 2 to play. I've got 4 transfers left in this team still. But I quite like the way it's set up, to be honest with you. So I'm not going to rush into anything. I think with transfer plans, I think I'm just going to wait and see what happens against Real Madrid in midweek. Obviously, if they go through, I'm probably going to be sticking with the City guys. If they go out, maybe I might move off a little bit. It's just that final. If they do get through to that final, they don't look up to it, do they? The other two, both Milan sides. So yeah, I think that would be a good one if they do get through. If they don't, I might start to look elsewhere. But then even Rashford's not got an extra game, so if he's out still. So yeah, I think that's pretty much me. I'm not really sure where I can finish up. I've been going down recently. I was about 75k at the World Cup, so it's been a good comeback. But yeah, I think it's quite hard to make up ground now, isn't it? And I don't take too many punts, to be honest. Yeah. But if I have got 4 going into the last few games, then maybe I can try something a bit out there.
Yeah, something a bit like Wilson.
Yeah, well, I had my eye on it. Like I said it on my pod, didn't I? That I thought with his double game week, it'd be a really good one to target.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't. I was looking at Salah, Kane, Haaland. Like I just couldn't take any of them out. I thought Kane just seems to score every game. Against your lot, there's a good chance Salah does bang.
Yeah.
And then you're not taking Haaland out, are you? So yeah.
No, I had that same problem in most of my teams. I didn't want to take Kane or Salah out, so I just left them in. And when I had Rashford in the team, I just took Rashford out for like Wilson.
Yeah, I was planning to do that Rashford move, but obviously no point now. So I probably will be sticking with that front three, I think. Should we go on to your one, Ben?
Yes, check mine out. So I've got 53 points this week. De Gea 5, Akanji 8, Trent to play. Ake's not played. Hoping he'll be back soon. Fernandez 10. Bowen on the bench, rested for the European game. Come on for a cameo. De Bruyne did play. Mahrez assist, 5 points. Wilson 17-pointer, happy days. Salah yet to play. If he scores, it'll soften the blow if they beat Leicester. But I'm hoping he blanks. I'm hoping Liverpool blank and we score. Can't see that. Was it 20 games without a clean sheet now, Leicester?
Bloody hell.
20.
Have you lost 20 games as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
21 games, in the league they've lost.
21 games.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You are scoring goals, and like when you are down there, they always say you need goal scorers. You need someone to score your goals, but you're just letting too many in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't believe it when it was 5 against Fulham.
Yeah.
A proper batter him on it.
We seem to come back when we're already gone, though. Like we did it against Man City. We came back and did all right, but we were already 3-0 down at half time. Same thing with Fulham, 3-0 down at half time.
So
we miss. Like, I'm not into XG, but you always look at the XG, and we always seem to have really high XG. And but just can't convert the chances.
Because you got Harvey Barnes, man.
Hey?
They say it's because you got Harvey Barnes.
Yeah. I know he's got like 12 goals this year, but he could have had 25 goals, the amount of chances he misses. Probably more. So
what's the latest on Ake?
Just saying he's back in training, basically.
Okay, so he might be back from Madrid then.
Yeah.
They weren't happy with didn't sound like they were happy with Akanji on that left side, were they, for that game? I think he was causing them trouble, so maybe he'll be making that game. I'm not sure. What are your plans then?
It's a strange thing that Laporte doesn't get the start in that left-hand side. He played today in the league, but he's top quality centre back. Like, even if they play, they're doing the old Stoke Alona formation, isn't there? 4 centre backs at the back.
It must just be a pace. Must just be a pace thing. Do you think?
Maybe.
Yeah, it's got to be on it.
Because they are a pretty quick team, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah. So 3 transfers left for the season. Wait to see how West Ham get on in the semi-final, I think. Possibly keep Bowen for the Europa Conference final if they get through. I really don't want to sell Trent. Probably just keep him till the end of the season, or to the end of the Premier League season, and then move on to Man City if they get into... Well, I'm probably moving Man City anyway with the FA Cup game. Triple up with them at the back. So, yeah. Wilson could probably go. Salah can go once the Premier League game's over. So I'll have to decide what I'm going to do. Might need to use the Salah money for something.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Are you going to stick with Wilson? Because he's got his double now, and then it's pretty much back to normal, isn't it?
It's Leicester next week at home. It's a single game, but if he's going to get 15 points in a single game,
exactly,
you might as well just keep him.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You are like trying to offset it, aren't you? You got Wilson this week. You got the Liverpool.
Yeah. I'm trying to jinx it.
Who's got Leicester after that? Which one of your teams got Leicester after that?
West Ham's got Leicester.
They haven't they?
He's targeting Leicester, isn't it?
I got all the top boys from all the teams that Leicester's playing.
That's the secret reason why I went so heavy on City players, because obviously with the title race going down the toilet, I've got I can fall back on my City players.
Yeah. Softens the blow. Yeah.
Perfect way to play.
Yeah. Right. So just to quickly, if you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. And if you're listening on Spotify or other podcast platform, please give us a good rating. So this is the fixture grid from the Dream Team Tonic Patreon. So this is what's left. We've got Man City, got 5 games, possible 6 if they get to the Champions League final. Man United's on 4, Brighton's on 4. West Ham have got 3, possible 4 if they get to the Conference League final. And then pretty much everyone's got 3 or 2 out of the rest. Is there anything on there that stands out to you that you fancy a punt on, Scott?
Not really. Liverpool and Newcastle having 3, just outside of those ones that could have the finals, Liverpool and Newcastle having 3 could be some value because they're probably, even though Wilson's been quite popular this week, they're still probably going to be quite lowly owned, aren't they?
The only thing with Newcastle now, they'll be locked, won't they? You can't get to Newcastle.
For the double, yeah.
Yeah, but Liverpool's still free, but who you gonna move off? Well, I suppose you can move off your Man City defenders didn't play, but would you really do that when they've still got 5 guaranteed fixtures?
Yeah,
tricky.
It's gonna be hard as well to see like which teams have still got stuff to play for now as well. Because City can wrap it up against Chelsea in the next game now, can't they? I think they'll be champions. Isn't it? United and Newcastle are pretty untouchable now. I think it is, isn't it? I think you have to win.
3 games, isn't it? 3, I think.
Yeah, Liverpool have to win them all.
Yeah,
I think they can win them all, but I think Man United will win at least 2, and I think Newcastle win at least 2. So
so that's probably wrapped up. So it's going to be around those like Man United, Liverpool, Newcastle places potentially still. I guess there's still Aston Villa and Brighton, isn't there, as well, that are still trying.
Yeah.
But it's hard to look outside of the Man City team, I think.
Brighton's fixtures on paper look hard, but look at they've done today. They're doing me head in.
5-1, 5-1 Everton.
Yeah, lose 5-1 to Everton and lose to Forest, didn't they? They beat Wolves 6-0 with the reserves. How? And then they play Arsenal and win 3-0. It's just unpredictable.
They beat United as well, didn't they?
Yeah, I haven't like fact checked it or anything, but just before I come on, I saw on Twitter someone said that they've done the double over Arsenal, they've done the double over Man United, I think they said, and they might have even beat Liverpool twice.
I don't think they beat Arsenal at the Arsenal won away, didn't they?
They must be including beating us at the Emirates in the League Cup, didn't they? They knocked us out. Was it League Cup or FA Cup? One of them. Yeah,
I think you're right. Yeah, it was the Cup. Yeah,
because doing the big teams.
Yeah, you definitely won away at Brighton because it was like 4-0 up or something. And I think it finished 4-2.
But they turn it on for those big games, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Right, did you want to go on to listener questions then?
Yeah. So first question is from Aman. Is Rashford essential when back from injury? Oz, you're the United man.
Well, obviously you can look at the lineups. I think for the Bournemouth game, see if you've took him out already to put him back in. But I'm not sure about essential. I'd say essential for the last game week.
For the FA Cup final.
Wilson. Yeah, for the FA Cup final and Chelsea. But yeah, I'd say essential in game week 36, but not essential for next week.
Yeah, so they'll have Fulham at home, won't they? And then Man City in the FA Cup. Because just saying that in game week 36, when the Premier League season ends, it looks like that you'll be locked in for the FA Cup final. The way that the game's done, the game week fixtures, which is daft really, because it's the week after. Yeah,
it should be separate game weeks, shouldn't it?
So if you are going to put a United or a City player in, make sure you do it on the last Premier League games of the season because it'll be locked.
So start of 36, is that? Yeah.
Yeah, by the looks of it, yeah. Because I was looking at the fixtures and the same game week for the FA Cup final as the last game week of the Premier League season. Yeah.
I know you've mentioned it quite a few times for your listeners, but just may as well chuck it in again that we're officially not getting any new transfers. The rule says there's no new transfers. That's something that I've seen quite a few people like leave comments on videos and send DMs asking about new transfers for the cup games, but there aren't going to be any new transfers. What you've got is what you've got now, isn't it, till the end? Yeah,
basically. There is a caveat in the rules that says we can give emergency transfers out. Dream Team said they can give out emergency transfers if they feel like it. But so don't count on that because every season they say that. And
there was a little bit of a mess up around the wild card as well, wasn't there, that week where it didn't quite follow what the rules said. So
yeah, I think we were all expecting the League Cup to be as a single game week because we started off in the game. I can't remember what round it was, but it was the League Cup, wasn't it? And then we thought there'd be a unlock for the new transfers for the Premier League season, but starting back up. But it wasn't like that. It was like a double game week over 2 weeks. Yeah, so that's what they're doing again for the last Premier League game of the season. So Man United and Man City will be locked for the FA Cup final, so be careful with that. So go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, I'm not sure Rashford's essential when he comes back. I must admit, Ten Hag does seem, when players do come back, he does seem to still play him, because I think there was earlier in the season when he was injured. I thought I probably won't bring in Rashford because they'll ease him back in. But I think Ten Hag just threw him straight back in. He just threw him straight back in for 90 minutes or something like that. So he probably will play both. But I think his last couple of games, he hasn't. I think his last two, I'm looking now, his last two, he got 3 points. And then the game before that, he blanked. So, I mean, the competition for that striker spot is Haaland, Kane, Salah, even like Wilson. They're just absolutely banging at the minute. So I think it's a bit of a risk, in my opinion. He's obviously a great player still, but I don't think I'll be in a rush to do it.
Yeah, and the fixtures are so sweet for that last game week as well for Liverpool and Spurs. Liverpool have got Southampton away, who just basically gave up now. And Spurs have got Leeds, who were fighting for their lives, but still a dodgy defence, Leeds, aren't they? So Kane could get a couple of goals in that. And then you can't bring Rashford in for the FA Cup final, which is so crazy. I just think he should have a new game week there if you've got transfers left. That's what the advantage is of holding your transfers back normally. So you've got to go early on that.
That final's not going to be a great game, is it?
No. I suppose Rashford, well, you don't know. You never know, but it's a dodgy game, isn't it, Man City? But it's a derby, isn't it? So anything could happen.
Yeah. I feel like in previous times in cup finals, like on the World Cup game maybe, or the Euros, or even in previous Dream Team seasons, when you go and target the final, it's always someone like you wouldn't expect gets the goal, gets the winner, isn't it? I think as well.
Yeah, definitely.
You'll end up with a Casemiro goal in the final.
Yeah.
Oz will be open for that, won't you?
Yeah, that doesn't sound too bad.
Take it.
Yeah, just next one is just a good luck message from Wadey. Best of luck, mate.
Yeah, nice one, made it.
Question. Connor's got a load of questions. So first one is, how's Oz blagged himself onto the pod?
Slip Ben 20 quid.
Yeah, thanks for that. So he says, what do you guys think the top 6 will be in order? Oz.
Hold on, let me get the table up.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Have you got yours up, Scott?
Yeah, I've done it. Well, I think the first two are set now, aren't they? Unfortunately, after today's results, looks like it looked like it was City's before today, really. But yeah, City in first, Arsenal in second. Newcastle and United, though, it's a close one, isn't it? Both on 66. Yeah. Both on 66 points. I do think your fixtures look pretty good, though.
They've got a draw in there somewhere, aren't they, Newcastle?
Who've Newcastle? Newcastle still got Brighton to play, have they?
Brighton, Leicester, Chelsea, yeah.
Yeah, just for fixtures, it'll have to be United, then Newcastle. Yeah. I did think that Liverpool were going to do it. I did think that they were going to get top 4. I thought they were going to win every game, but the way results have gone now, I think that top 4 is pretty much set in stone. Liverpool probably going to take 5th. Did you say top 6?
Yeah,
that 6th place though. That's up for grabs still, isn't it? But I think it will be Brighton. Which is pretty boring because I think that is pretty much 1 to 6 as it is now, really. Villa have been well good, haven't they? Villa have been brilliant recently.
Yeah, they've got 2 tough fixtures left, though, haven't they? I think they've got, is it Liverpool and Brighton? So, yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing Spurs in the comp. Is it 7th, get the conference?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that.
What do you think, Oz?
I'd say as it is now, but move Newcastle and United around. Say Newcastle 3rd, and then United 3rd, and then Newcastle 4th, Liverpool, Brighton.
Yeah. So before today, I looked at the question and I put down Spurs to get 6th. But after seeing Brighton beat Arsenal, and they've still got 2 games in hand on Spurs, and they're a point above them now. So I'd say Brighton and top 6 now. Yeah, so pretty much sat the same.
They have been class, haven't they, Brighton?
Yeah, well, when they want to be. Even though Leicester's been crap this year, I'm just so annoyed with Brighton. Just losing at Forest and Everton, just giving them points away. Like if they won them points, if they won them games, they could have got challenged for Champions League. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If De Zerbi gets some European football, he's got to stay, hasn't he? Surely. See that through.
Yeah. Be interesting to see if he gets the like a Chelsea or something comes in for him with big money.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, the money's a massive thing, but you've got to look at what's happened with Potter and just think you've got it so good at Brighton as it is. You've got one season to pull it off at Chelsea, or you're out, haven't you? It looks like they're getting. Does it look like they're getting Pochettino now?
Yeah, done deal, isn't it?
Yeah. That worries me. Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Has that been officially confirmed down there? I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I think Fabrizio confirmed it on Twitter, didn't he?
Okay, right.
So, yeah.
He's the man, isn't he, for all the transfer
He's
news?
the man, yeah.
I mean, that could be Chelsea. That could be Chelsea back in the mix for Dream Team next season. I won't be starting out with them, but they'll be really cheap, won't they?
They need to put another team. They need to put a B team in the league, don't they? Got like 50 players, haven't they? It's ridiculous. Yeah, so
not striker.
I know. Well, Lukaku will probably be back in the team next year.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
And they've got Broja as well, coming back from injury.
Did you see Vincent Kompany in the stands at the Arsenal game today?
Yeah, he sat next to Roman Kemp, wasn't it? I thought, what's going on here? That's a bit weird.
He was next to he had Vinay on one side, who's like one of the top dogs at Arsenal sort of thing. But he's obviously not going to be in. He must just. I think he must have been watching Brighton. Do you think he might be considering Brighton if De Zerbi went?
Possibly.
No.
I think he should stay at Burnley. Just like you just said with De Zerbi, just stay where you're doing well. Just stay there, and then build your reputation up.
Yeah. I know it's off on a tangent a little bit, but like, do you worry about Brighton eventually maybe sort of becoming a bit like Southampton? Just if they keep selling all their best players, it does seem like they've got a conveyor belt of really good players just keep coming through, but they'll surely come unstuck eventually if they keep selling.
Yeah, you're probably right there.
Well, Leicester did the same thing, didn't they? They signed players from obscure places. Look at Mahrez, 400,000 they pay for him.
Yeah,
and Vardy 1 million, and N'Golo Kante. But they're just like, I don't know what's happened. Like basically, they've run out of, like you said, the conveyor belts. They've bought the wrong players, and it's just gone tits up. So look at Southampton, like you said. So it just seems to go through cycles. These teams just can't seem to push into the top 6 for forever. You know what I mean? They just seem to drop off again. But we'll see, won't we?
Another question from Connor.
Yeah. Ratings in Dream Team, yay or nay? Scott.
Do you know what? I can see. I feel like it's a bit of a loaded question because there's so much like controversy over the ratings on Dream Team. But I think I'd just say yay. If they're consistently crap, at least you know what to expect. Like you sort of know who the players that are going to get ratings week in, week out are, don't they? And I know it's flawed a little bit, but at least if it just stays the same, you know what to expect. Whereas if they do tear it up and go again, people are going to still be complaining next season, I think.
What do you think, Oz?
Yeah, I'd agree with what Scott's just said. But if they did get rid of it, it'd be welcoming change sort of thing. But yeah, they are very frustrating.
Yeah, they've got to sort that conference out, haven't they?
Yeah.
Is it fixed? I still don't think it's fixed, is it?
No, that basically Dream Team are doing their own ratings for the Conference League. Well, they said to me it's a third party that does it, but you can see that it's just like, just give him 6.8. Like Bowen got an assist in the Conference League the other day. I didn't watch the game, but surely that's a rating. Must have got a 7 rating for that. They've won the game. You know what I mean? So yeah, that definitely sorting out. If they don't sort that out, then I could see where Connor's coming from, because Connor mentioned he was on the pod last week and he mentioned about Sky. They don't have man of the match anymore. Like used to have like a star man. They got rid of that because that was being voted for by like Gary Neville on the show, who's like, and then so like Eric Dyer ran up into the stands and helped somebody when he was ill, and I can't remember what happened, but he got man of the match for that.
His brother got in a fight or something, I think, didn't he?
I'm getting confused. There's two because he ran up to the stand for a fight as well, didn't he? I think someone was hurting the crowd, and he like got a doctor to come over. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I like the ratings because I don't want it to be exactly the same as the other games. I like it being a little bit different. Just it needs sorting out though. The Conference League, you need to get somebody else to do it if they can't do all the competitions. Who scored? They need to get someone else to do it. Yeah. Name one player who doesn't play in England who you'd love to see play in the Premier League. Try not to be obvious and say Messi or Mbappe, etc. Go on, Oz.
I wrote down Hakimi. He's a decent player. I like to see him in the Prem. And Dumfries at Inter Milan. I thought it was brilliant. He had a brilliant Euro as well. Yeah, he was fantastic.
They sound like United players to me because you need a right back in there. Good attacking wing backs. Them, I like that. Yeah. What do you think, Scott?
The one that stands out probably for me is because now it's not looking likely. I think we will see it, but I'd like to see Bellingham in there because it looks like he's going round on it.
Yeah, that was my one. I was going to say.
Oh, I've done you. Sorry.
No, great choice, mate. I'd love to see him in the Premier League.
But then again, we don't have that many like English players that are doing well over abroad. It's not like a common thing, really, is it? To be fair. So yeah. Well, when was the last time we had an English player playing at Real Madrid?
Yeah.
God.
We've had some good ones though. Obviously, Woodgate was.
Oh God! One. Yeah, he scored an own goal or something in his debut. And got sent off. Yeah, I remember when I lived in Spain. They had Owen, Beckham, and Woodgate at the same time.
He's obviously not English, but one of the ones that around that time that always used to do me in was Thomas Gravison.
Oh yeah,
ended up at Real.
He's an absolute nutcase. I've been listening to podcasts Under the Cosh. And they get like ex-Celtic players on talking about what happened when they played there. And that Thomas Graveson's an absolute lunatic. They like got him. He's signing from Real Madrid, and they're like, "Oh, happy days! I've got a top player here." And he got bombed straight into the reserves because he's an absolute nutter. And he's like, he's kicking people in training, and then like he'll stop the training session if there's a mini match. He'll stop training session if he's losing 3-0. He goes, right, start again, start again. We get to start again. And every time he loses, he just wants to start again. He's whenever he sees the manager, he's like, hello, good morning, Gordon. Morning, Gordon. Like Gordon Strachan. Morning, Gordon. And he's in the reserves. Like everyone's laughing their head off. And what else? He said to all the youth players, let's have like a killer. Oh, not a killer. It was a killer. Like, we'll play pool, all 20 quid in. And he's a multi-millionaire, and these lads are all like on 50 quid a week or whatever. 20 quid's off him. He says, right, 1 minute, and he'll go to his car. Comes out with Ronnie O'Sullivan's snooker while they're all playing with like bar cues. And he breaks them all for the money.
Cleans up, hustling them.
Yeah. Absolute nutter.
Oh, you got to think on your feet now. Who's your one instead of Bellingham then? Have you got one?
Oh, can't think now. God, that's hard. Pass. Yeah.
Man, and he's 100 questions. Oh no, we got one more bit.
One more from your mate. He says, "Can you blow him?"
Oh yeah.
Go on. It's the
camera. Next question. Aman, are Anthony and Sancho good dream team prospects for the future? For the rest of the season, basically.
For the rest of the season?
I think so. Or is he on about next season?
For the future.
I think he's on about, next season.
Right.
I mean, it's probably anyone's guess. If United sign a striker, Then you've got Garnacho on the left, Rashford and Sancho. So he's probably Sancho's down the pecking order. And on the right, you've got Amad Diallo tearing it up at Sunderland at the minute to come back in. Pelestri, maybe. He might go out on loan. But I think Anthony's a bit underwhelming, to be honest. It's frustrating to watch. It's all a bit readable. So I'll probably say no, if I'm honest. But you know how it goes. I could be wrong.
Doing donuts on the pitch.
Yeah.
I can always remember looking. They went straight to Ten Hag in the what do you call it? What do you call it? Dugout. So the camera was on Anthony doing that donut with the ball, and then it looked straight at Ten Hag, and Ten Hag's going, "No, what are you doing?"
Yeah, do his impression, Brent. You're good at that one.
Oh, Ten Hag. My name's Ten Hag. I'm from Amsterdam. Ajax of Amsterdam. Rashford will. I hope he'll be fit for the end of the season. She didn't.
He's got a funny voice, hasn't it?
Was it you that I was speaking to on the Discord? Because I think Anthony really reminds me of Pepe the way he plays. He's like so one-footed, so like cut in, and it doesn't seem to flow with the way that you play. And it's what I really liked him, to be fair, when he first started at Arsenal, and he did do well in Dream Team as well. He was right up there when he
did well in the Europa League as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Pepe did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really did score high one season, and I did really like to watch him. But I think he might end up having the same problem. I know did he work with Ten Hag before?
Yeah.
Yeah, it might not be too much of a big deal. But like with Pepe, the reason Arteta didn't like him was just because he was slowing everything down each time. Although he was shooting, scoring, doing loads of good stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I see Anthony being similar. Yeah, but
his work rate is brilliant.
Yeah, like fair. Pepe didn't put a shift in, and Anthony does still do that. So, yeah, I reckon if you do get a decent striker in, I still think he could get quite a few more assists and stuff, because he does put a good cross in. But I wouldn't be starting with him or anything like that next season. No. I would really have to see something from him before putting him in, I think. And yeah, I've written Sancho off. To be fair, I've not seen it, to be honest.
What do you think of your chances of getting Harry Kane next year?
I think he will sign a new contract.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I don't think he'll move. But I'd love him. He'd be absolutely brilliant. I can't believe he's got 27 goals, whatever it is, this season for Spurs.
I know.
Yeah, brilliant player.
Yeah, so Aman's got another question. At this stage of the season, where every point is important and time is running out, is it better to go for a consistent player, i.e. Grealish, that tick along nicely, getting 3 or 5 points per game, but don't often get the big hauls, or go for the explosive players, i.e. Ben Rama, who tend to be 0 points often, but have haul potential, scoring 10 plus points as they can score 2 goals in a game? Oz?
I mean, it depends on what your aim is. It's like your rank. If you're chasing a high rank, then maybe you want to take punts on explosive players. Or if you're in a mini league, then it's probably not worth taking punts and taking steady points. So yeah, it's probably what your aim is.
Yeah, Scott?
Yeah, probably similar, isn't it? It depends if you're chasing or if you're up the top. If you're right up the top and you've got a good lead, or if you're just trying to consolidate a little bit, I think I would be ticking along with someone like Grealish now. Or if I was really far behind, that's when I'd start taking a few punts. Like if you'd have got a hat-trick off Mahrez, I know he's quite popular now, but yeah, it can boost you right up, can't it? But I think I'd be leaning towards Grealish unless I was really chasing.
Yeah, agree. Question for both Professor and Oz. What tactics do you feel you got mainly right this season? And what mistakes did you both make that you think you'll rectify for next season? So, Scott.
Yeah, this was a tough one. I was looking at this, and I must admit, I feel like I've got quite a bit better this season. by picking I think it was one of you guys that gave me the advice, maybe even the first time I came on the pod, but it was like, if you consistently just keep, I know there might be the boring picks or the more templatey picks, but if you're constantly making fairly good decisions the whole way through and not just taking big gambles, you can climb quite a lot, like I did from the World Cup. I had a look back pre-World Cup at some of the moves I was making, and obviously if you look at the team you started with, it's ridiculous, but yeah, there was a few punty players in there from the start that just were getting zeros all the time, and it wasn't working for us. And I honestly do think it is boring, but sticking with the template or the most fairly popular places, obvious picks at the start is the best way to go, I think. And then you can start to make one or two punts here and there. But at the start of the season, I was just doing too many out there picks. And then the other part I was gonna say is which I need to get used to taking more risks, I think. But I had a look back as well. And do you know, when the Newcastle block was smashing it, I think I sort of dipped my toe in. So I think I had 2 Newcastle players, and then at most I had 3 for a couple of weeks, while everyone else seemed to have the full block and the keeper. Yeah. And then I've done the same with United as well. That time where United block was really doing well, I think I might have gone for Shaw and De Gea, or just Shaw, De Gea and one other. I never fully committed to the blocks. And the only time I really have started to do that now was when I thought I saw an opportunity to do it with City, and it hasn't paid off. So it's trying to get the defense right, I think, is the hardest part. But yeah, I've never really fully committed to blocks. I never seem to get it right. But like, if he had got Newcastle, I think that was one that I should have gone all in.
Yeah, definitely. At points in the season, I've had Newcastle full block, and it's where I think after the World Cup went full Newcastle, and it shot me right up because I struggled before the World Cup this year. But yeah, if you go wrong and pick the wrong defence, it could be disaster. Like saying like Liverpool full defence to start season or something, it could be a disaster. So sometimes it is better to be cautious and just go 2 or 3, and then you can pivot to another defense and still have 2 different defenses. But once you know you're happy with that defense, then go all in if you can. 5. What do you think?
Yeah, that's exactly what I wrote down. I was late to the Newcastle block and the back 4 and the keeper, and throughout the season missed a few boats. I flirted with Kane a lot as well. Instead of just keeping him in, set and forget, I've like fucked about with him, sort of thing. There was a Mason Mount one in I think it was about September or October, and I think he got about 20 odd points. Missed out on him. Dallo had a good spell before the World Cup. Missed out on him. So there's a few that I can look back on and remember. But yeah.
Right. Another quick question from Honey Badger. Ederson or De Gea for the final run-in, starting from next game week? Scott.
Well, I messed this one up. I don't know if you saw it on Twitter. It come up in the notifications because I was tagged, and I thought Honey Badger was just messaging me. So I answered it on the post straight away, and then realised what it was. Deleted it. I was like, oh, but yeah. Do you know what? To be fair, I think I'd be leaning towards De Gea, to be honest, because Ederson obviously has kept a clean sheet in this week, but I think it was before this weekend. I think City had 3 clean sheets in their last 10, and Man United had 5 in their last 10. Now, a lot of those Man United ones I looked at just seemed so fluky, like that one where Lindelof headed one off the line and all that sort of stuff. But I just think with De Gea, he seems to get a lot of saves to make as well. So I think I'm going to just stick with De Gea. I've got him at the minute, and I think I'm just going to stick with him, to be honest. But I mean, if you have already got either Ederson or De Gea, I probably wouldn't bother swapping your keepers around. I'll just keep who you've got. But if you're choosing between the 2, I'd go De Gea, I think.
Oz?
Yeah, I'd agree with that completely. I think if you got one or the other, there's no point moving along to the other one. If you've got De Gea, stick with him. You got Ederson, stick with him. Unless you're trying to use 2 transfers, there's not much in it. De Gea's got more points. He's cheaper, isn't he? So yeah, I won't be in a rush to get Ederson in.
Is he top keeper? Who's top keeper at the minute?
It was De Gea. De Gea and Pope were the first 2 last week.
It is still. Yeah, De Gea's top by 5 points. Then Pope. Then Alisson. That's mad, isn't it?
He's been brilliant this year.
No. He's always keeping Liverpool in it, aren't it? Like he just saves so much.
Awesome keeper.
What about you, Ben? You the same?
Yeah, like just stick with what you've got. There was an opportunity a few weeks back to jump on Ederson for the extra games, but I honestly, it's pretty much neck and neck now with fixtures left, and the fixtures are good for United as well up until the FA Cup final. I mean, they could keep a clean sheet and win 1-0. We don't know, but De Gea's been brilliant this year, and he's the top scoring goalkeeper. I was luckily
Ortega. They threw Ortega in randomly, didn't they, at one point?
Yeah, that's a good point. They might not even play Ederson in the FA Cup final. Ortega might play because he's played in every round. Actually, I think Ederson played in one game, but if I recall, So
Scotty Carson gets a game.
No
you
chance.
Guys mentioned that last.
Yeah, I was just joking about because he was like, "Oh, would you take Ederson?" Because they were saying Ederson's crap last week.
Yeah.
And because he always seems to let in that one goal, and then he goes and gets 8 points this week just to piss Connor off. I was just messed about because we're conceding goals for fun, and Everson was class the other week, and then
was it against Everton? He was brilliant, wasn't it?
Man of the match against Everton, and then this week he just like flapped it across from Willian, and it went straight in the goal. You know, those free kicks from the side wide and they just bounced in front of the keeper. He just flapped it. So I was just joking. I was looking at Carson's. He's only like 36 still. Crazy. He's been around forever. I remember him playing for Leeds back in the day. He's played for Liverpool as well. I forgot he played for Liverpool. He's been all over the place. So... Next question. Is Martial worth a punt at this point in the season, given the doubts around Rashford at the moment? Oz?
No. Simple words.
You would have watched the game, wouldn't you, this weekend?
Yeah, I did, yeah. Yeah.
He only scored a tackle, didn't he?
He couldn't have missed it, yeah.
On a plate.
But no, I wouldn't put him in, mate. He's shite.
He's not going to get you. You don't think he's going to get you a 15-pointer or something like that in any matches?
Nah, I can't see it. Lucky to get 8 points.
Yeah,
Baz, glass.
I think Baz is asking this because he had a start after the World Cup. We had the wild card, and he went for Martial because instead of Rashford because he was cheaper. And instead of like thinking, "Oh shit, I've messed up here," he just kept
stuck with him, didn't he?
Just for the crack. And it didn't work out too well. He ended up like 100 points less because he got Martial instead of Rashford was on fire after the World Cup, weren't he?
Yeah.
And what do you think, Scott?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't go near him. There's too many good options. And he's made of glass, isn't he, as well? You'll put him in and he'll be injured.
Yeah, I agree. Can you give me your best original fantasy football team names that involve Leeds United defender Robin Koch? Many thanks in advance. Scott?
I've never been good at... Do you know what? I've never been good at naming teams on... I see everyone with their good names every time, and I've been terrible at it. I think my teams this season, I started a trend of like trying to name them after like dirty things that have happened in football. So my main team's called Zidane's Headbutt at the minute. I had El Hadj Diouf Spit as one of my names. I had Kung Fu Cantona as one of my other team names. But I last minute panicked and tried to find something borderline funny with cock in it. And I noticed I was just quickly looking through their team to see if there was anyone else that could be a play on words. I was trying to make something work with Willy Nonto, but couldn't quite hack it. But I've gone for the keeper they've brought in instead of Meslier. They've brought in Robles, is it?
Yeah, Joe Robles.
So some sort of cock Robles, like a bit of a I
like it.
We'll go with Big Sam's cock Robles.
Yeah,
that's all I can come up with.
What about you, Oz?
I had down Batman and Robin Koch, or more relatable, just Small Cock. Love it.
Well, you know how people block each other during the season, so I've gone for cock blockers.
Yeah, that's good.
Next question from Twed. Thanks for that, Asbestos. Next question from Twed.
Cheers, Baz.
Question 1. If Tony is not top of any league, will there be a league update? So that is referring to the last couple of pods. We haven't put any league updates. I think lads have got a bit lazy and not put them up. So, yeah, naughty boys. Been going on the holidays, eh? On the beach.
On the beach.
Oh, don't worry, Twed. We've got the league updates later for you.
Yep.
Right, Flower Pot Man. No questions from me. Just enjoy it, Oz and Dream Team Professor. 2 top lads from the Discord. Shame they know nothing about Dream Team.
Some boy, innit?
Cheers,
Thomas.
Brilliant. Aman got another question. Thanks for this, Aman. To our special guests, which players do Arsenal and United need to sign to overcome City and win the Premier League next season? Scott, you're Arsenal man. Who do you think you need?
Well, we took Zinchenko and Jesus, so that was a start. But if we could get Edison, Stone,
get the rest of the team,
Diaz, Rodri.
Just get the Mahrez might be. Well, you won't get him in the team. Would you? Saka'd have to change sides.
Yeah, do you know what? I think it's. I was sort of thinking about it during this Brighton game rather than get too depressed over it. But he'd be class, and
he's leaving, isn't he?
He had been linked, but I think he's going Barca. I think I'd seen, but I just think we need to strengthen and get more depth in there, because you can just see they can just swap in and out players, and there's no dip at all. Like we're taking off. We might take, I don't know, Saka off for Reece Nelson. Or like today, we were losing and we made a sub of Xhaka to Partey. And it's like, it's not doing anything different. But I do think if we could get Declan Rice would be brilliant. I don't think we will, but that would be really good. And I actually quite like Casado from Brighton, just because...
He was class today, wasn't
he? They played him almost right back, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He's quite versatile, and that's what Arteta seems to like players that can play more than one position. So I think if we could get just Rice and Caicedo, I think it'd go quite a long way. But you need to make sure you don't lose people as well, because I keep seeing Xhaka might be leaving apparently in the end of the summer, and it's no point getting rid of one, bringing in another. I think we just need bodies at the minute. So yeah, I think, and then a striker that does something a bit different. So I'd love an Ivan Toney, to be honest, up front, although he's going to be banned, isn't he? But yeah, someone a bit different, because you can't just replace the same player with the same player. Like we've got Nketiah coming on for Jesus or Martinelli for Trossard. There's not that much difference really. So yeah, just a few more options and a few more bodies. But Rice and Caicedo, I think, would be a good start.
Yeah. I'd like to see Zinchenko be played in midfield as well. Like, I know he's injured at the moment, but like Tierney could have played left back and Zinchenko could play like the Xhaka role, couldn't he? On the left hand side of midfield. We
suffered massively without him today, because Tierney actually, he is a better defender than Zinchenko. But you saw today we couldn't do anything. We had no playing out at all.
Oz, what do you think United need?
I need a lot. A new goalkeeper.
You've already told us the wing back. You've already told us the wing backs you want.
Two new midfielders. They need cover for Casemiro, because he's a fucker, isn't he? Harry Kane, goal scorer. You put Harry Kane in that side, and it's another 30-odd goals in it. Because United have been short on goals this year. It's been Rashford, really, hasn't it? So striker, 2 midfielders, possibly a new keeper, but it's not going to happen, is it? With everything that's going on, the takeover and whatnot. So yeah, I'd say a striker and a midfielder, being realistic.
Cool. So Aman again, and now the season is at a near end. Are there any transfer decisions you look back on and feel that a different choice would have taken your season in a different direction? Basically, any regrets? So, Oz, do you have any regrets? Any players that you should have gone with instead of you went with ones?
I think we kind of covered this earlier with the Newcastle defenders, not getting on them like all four and Pope. And then obviously I've been flirting with Kane all season. Wish I'd have just stuck with him. So yeah.
What about you, Scott?
Yeah, the same. Obviously, hindsight's brilliant, isn't it? But if I'd have gone all in on, I'd have gone all in on those if I knew that they were going to keep that many clean sheets. But there was a few decisions that backfired. But I think it was just unlucky. I can't remember if you remember, but I had those back-to-back red cards. I think I had the Cancelo one. I had Emerson Royale, and then I had his replacement was Sergio Gomez, and I basically got like 3 red cards. I basically got 3 red cards within about 3 game weeks, I think it was. It was ridiculous, but obviously you can't plan for that, can you? Really?
No.
But no, I just think you just got to learn from it, and you can't regret it.
Yeah. Look, I got pulled my season up earlier to see what players I've had over the season. Some really terrible players, but I have to say we only have 50 million to start with, so we have to pick some crap ones. But definitely Weghorst, I picked him. I think it was the FA Cup 3rd round or something, and I had Kane, and Kane didn't play. So then United were playing next, and they had a double game week, and Weghorst just signed from, and he was playing centre forward. And I think he scored the week before, so I thought, he scored a goal. He was doing all right before he came to United. I put him in, see what he does. I had loads of transfers left, so I just went for it. But I'll bring Kane back in after. So I didn't lose anything on Kane, but it probably cost me 2 transfers. Weghorst probably got 3 points or something, a rating. That's it. He's definitely a big player. Yeah. And at the start of the season in my podcast team, I had the big 3 up front: Salah, Kane, and Haaland, which I was happy with. But I think there was a point where West Ham had loads of games or something, and someone must have blanked or something. I can't really remember. But I was just looking at it on FF stuff, and I went to Martinelli for some reason. He's done all right this year, hasn't he? But it's just like
brilliant,
yeah. And then I went, instead of just doing the one big hitter down to Martinelli, I went another one onto Scamacca, who had a little spell scoring one goal. But then he's not a traditional point scorer. He's not played in the Premier League before, but you're going to get Kane, Salah.
Forgot about him.
Yeah, you get Kane, Salah, Haaland in. They're going to score goals. Don't mess with them. And I took them out, and it proper hindered my podcast team. And that's when I started spiraling down, and I had to get the wild card to sort me out. So I'm so glad I got the wild card. Sort my defence out, got the Newcastle defence in pretty much, and I think I had De Gea. I had Bazunu for the first week of the wild card because I thought we'd be able to sell him after the first game, and then bring in De Gea. So I had De Gea most of the season. I had Meslier at the start just because he was a cheap enabler. Then I went to De Gea from September, and then wild card I brought in Bazunu for the first week, and he conceded against Lincoln. So I was like, right, he's going. And that didn't work. And I went straight back to De Gea. So I've had him all season. I've been happy with that.
You don't get a ton of misses in the Discord and that sort of thing on this podcast. You don't get many misses. But that was one of the only ones that I'd sort of heard everyone mention Bazunu, and that was one of the only ones I was like, I don't think I can go there.
I think he scored an own goal as well the game after, because it was dual game week. But luckily, you don't get minus points in Dream Team for an own goal.
No.
Yeah, so there's been loads more, but I'm not going to go through them. It would take forever. So where are we now? Question 6. Another one for our guest. Where do you think Ten Hag and Arteta made mistakes during the season, and what would Oz and the Professor have done differently? Scott, what would you do different to Arteta?
Do you know what? Again, I can't really have too many complaints that aren't in hindsight. But I mean, things seem to go a little bit downhill for us when we went out of the Europa League. We had that game, and that's when Saliba apparently might have picked up a knock, but the game before. But Saliba ended up getting injured in that game, and Tomiyasu got injured in that game. And I think those 2 injuries pretty much derailed a lot. I mean, City City could easily still have won it, but yeah, maybe we either went all in on that competition or not at all, because we looked like we were throwing it, but then we played all the big players in that second leg, or a lot of big players in that second leg, and then they picked up injuries, which can't always be helped. But overall, to be honest, I haven't got too many regrets, to be fair. With no one expected us to be there with Arteta, so I think he's done a decent job. It's easy to look in hindsight. Maybe that Kivior's doing a bit better than what Holding probably was doing, but then Kivior's come in and played two easier teams, and then Holding had to play against Liverpool and City, and that Kivior played against Sporting and looked terrible, and then he came on, I think, at the last few minutes of the Liverpool game and just clattered someone with his first touch. So there's no guarantee that we would have won them games anyway. So nah, I'm not Arteta out or anything like that, although you probably will see some weirdos doing it.
Yeah, you at the start of the season, you would have took second place, wouldn't you?
I'd taken top 4 at the start of the season. So yeah.
Yeah, that's the same as me, really. You can't really knock what Ten Hag's done at all. Do you know what I mean? 2 cup finals, top 4, was wrote off top 4. You know, after he's done wonders, really. So yeah, I can't really say what changed, to be honest. I think it's been a good season if we get top 4.
He's not asked you. He's not asked you, Ben.
Hey, I don't want to talk about Leicester. There's so much.
It'll be a 3-hour pod, won't it?
Yeah, I know. I've been listening to too many Leicester pods lately, and they're just moaning on them. So Wadey's come in here. Not sure if I'm late. Is Gundogan now more essential than, say, a player like Foden? Oz.
It's a tough one, isn't it? I'd probably say no. He has purple patches every year, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And you'd like to think that Foden's going to get a run of games soon, especially with the league nearly been wrapped up. So I'd stick with Foden.
Yeah. Scott?
Yeah, obviously, if we knew that it was going to get these hauls, it would have been a brilliant pick. And we were chatting before, Ben, weren't we? That I did say that if you didn't, I would have packed my midfield out with City midfielders, but I probably would have said De Bruyne, Mahrez, Grealish, Foden if you were going to go all 4. They're the historically better ones, aren't they, to pick? But yeah, if you didn't have the budget, I would have gone Grealish. But to be honest, still, I think I still would have said those big hitters over Gundogan. But yeah, he has been classed. Today was ridiculous, wasn't it?
Yeah, another star man appearance for him, wasn't it? He seems to, at the end of the season, he seems to come up with his braces, doesn't he? Like, I think it was to win the league last game of the season. I'm sure he scored a brace against Villa to win the league. They were 2-0 down, weren't they, and come back.
Yeah.
I can't remember the scorers. I'm sure he scored. He definitely scored in the match. I don't know if he got 2. But yeah, he just seems to be always involved.
Winners all over the park.
Even
Stones for big goals.
Yeah,
Rodri as well.
Yeah.
Even that goal. You see the goal today he scored? Unbelievable goal. Gundogan, yeah. He turned in the air, took it down on his knee, and then just flicked it with his backwards. It was an unbelievable goal.
No look goal.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he was essential, but he has been.
Yeah, he'll probably get rested. He'll probably get rested for the rest of the Premier League games now if they win it against Chelsea. So it's tricky, isn't it? Foden will probably play. Mahrez will play more, hopefully, which is good. But yeah, tricky one that. I won't be bringing him in now. Obviously, we won't get to be able to bring him in until they play Chelsea and Brighton double header. So, but like I say, he might play half the Chelsea game. They get the game wrapped up, and then he'll come off early, and then you won't see him until the FA Cup final.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at the mini league top 10. Do you want to have a read through it, Oz?
Yeah. So number 10, we've got Andy Allett.
Yeah.
Number 9, Mark Tavares. Number 8, the one and only Ben Lee.
Yeah.
Number 7, Stephen Williams. Number 6, Discord's biggest tosser, Tom Brindley. And he's in 6th, 5th, 4th, and 2nd. Yeah, so 3rd, we've got Anthony Sutcliffe.
On his holidays.
Probably
pissed.
Number 1, we've got Simon Davis.
Well done. Well done, Simon Davis. This is the Patreon League. You want to run through this, Scott?
Go on then. Yeah. Is this by design? Is it? Is this by design that we've got the top 12?
Yes.
On the screen.
This is the first time I've got near the top now in this Patreon. I'm starting to creep up.
I was hoping I was going to sneak into the last one. I think I was 11th or 12th yesterday, and then I was like, if I can sneak in for the episode I'm on, that'll be perfect. But I've gone the other way. I've gone down to like 14th this weekend. No, so for the Patreon League in 12th, we have, or joint 12th, we have Gary Paul. Then we have Ben Lee.
Wee.
In 11th, we have Brad Roberts. Number 10, we've got Nicholas Statham. In 9th, we have Stephen Broughton. And then in 8th, he's on the beach, Anthony Sutcliffe. In 7th, we've got Mark McKee. In 6th, we've got Wayne Foster Crouch. In 5th place, we have Jake Bevan. In 4th, we've got Aman. In 3rd, we've got Lee Utin. In 2nd, we've got Tom Brindley. And in 1st place, John Mellier.
Well done, John. I have to say there's some fantastic team names in that mini league. You got
I like Hello You Conte.
I like the one in 12th place. Real Big Tits. I always laugh at that one as well. Thomas Tuchel's left ear. That's Mark McKee. And was it Debbie Does Dallas? Wayne Foster Crouch, Mr. Porn Man himself.
Oh, is that him? Is
that him?
Yeah, that's him. Brilliant.
Some boy.
Then you can go for the top 10 then, Ben.
Yeah, this is the overall leaderboard now. We'll start looking at this. This is the best of the best, top 10. So we've got in 10th place, Harry Carr. 9th place, Andrew Foote. 8th place, Darren Chapman. 7th place, Christopher Hatton. 6th place, Simon Davis, who's in our mini league. 5th place, Martin Powell. 4th place, Bodo Wagner. 3rd place, Marco Crassa. 2nd place, Carl Watts. And top of the shop, Andrew Cadman.
That's the only time we're going to see an Arsenal badge in 1st place now. The rest of the season.
The next 10 years.
Go on, Ben. Go again.
Yeah, and this is the second chance mini league. So we've got top 10. Lee Hooper is joint 10 for 2 teams. Joint 8th, we've got Andrew Tweddle and Jamie Curry. 7th place, we've got Phil Russo. 5th place, Andrew Tweddle and Ben Lee. Whee. 4th place, Tony Sutcliffe. Tony's on the gin and tonics.
On the
3rd place, Andrew Tweddle. 2nd place, Tom Brindley, and he's top of the shop as well. Tom Brindley.
Nice. So that answers the question. We'll still do the leagues.
There you go, Andrew.
Wow.
All right, brilliant. That's it for the pod. Thanks for coming on, Scott. Really appreciate your help tonight.
Thank you very much.
Special guest, Oz. Thanks for coming on, mate.
Thanks for having me, mate. Been a pleasure.
What's your Twitter handles, Scott?
Yeah. So if you want to follow us on Twitter, it's just @DreamTeamProf. And then, of course, I've got my YouTube channel and podcast, which is just Dream Team Professor. So you can catch us on there as well.
Excellent. And if you want to follow Dream Team Tonic, it's at Dream Team Tonic on Twitter. Obviously, you'll know we've got a YouTube channel and we're on Spotify and all podcast platforms. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at DT Tonic Ben. Right. Cheers, everyone. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.